Hello, thanks for joining us and spending your lunch hour. We're down here in sunny southern Florida.
Yeah, thanks for logging in. We're Scott and Karen with Capable Cruising, and today we're going to tell you a little bit all about us. So we'll start with us personally. We've been married for 40 years, and we still like each other. It's a pretty good deal. So we do have 2 kids that are gainfully employed, which is always a good thing. Gold loopers, we're full-time cruisers, and we don't have a dirt home. So a little bit about us. We're both licensed captains, and Scott was in the Coast Guard and trained as a coxswain, so he's really great at being able to teach people because he fully understands boat movements from his Coast Guard training. And of course, I was a reluctant spouse at one time, and here I am a captain, so there's hope.
Some of the things we offer, we do training aboard your boat when you purchase a boat and would like to learn all about it. We also offer something unique, cruises on our boat. We call them the Taste of the Loop. And they also do deliveries with and without training if you need to get your boat from point A to point B. We are based out of Fort Myers, Florida.
But if you need training on your boat, we'll go to wherever your boat is. So that is one of the things that works out really well for you. We just show up at your boat. So we do training on your boat, and it's important for us. We feel that to be team players, when you hire us, we both come aboard your boat. Scott trains primarily at the helm, and I train primarily at the deck. So it's unique to have us both come aboard at the same time. So we're curriculum based. We have a list of things to cover so that we make sure we don't overlook some of the important details, not only just the basic boating stuff, but also we teach the loop, so that helps us. We can satisfy insurance requirements if they have some.
Introduction to boat yoga.
Oh yeah, hey, look at that move. Isn't it a great one? Oh my.
Boat yoga, that's working in the engine room. We call that boat yoga. Anyways, we'll go over your daily checks, maintenance items like you see listed here, everything from daily to things that you might need to check weekly, monthly, and annually. Try to go over all the different systems on your boat. Electrical, your water systems, fresh water, raw water, and the one nobody wants to talk about, waste. You will become intimate with your waste system at some point.
On the loop. Think of your vessel as it's a little city. You carry all those little systems and utilities with you. So we'll teach you all about how to find out where they all are and what they do.
Boat handling, teach you how to bring your boat into a dock, into a slip, maneuver in current and wind.
Spend a lot of time doing that when you get a new boat. It's probably the part that most people need a lot of time with. And we really highly encourage cross training. Even if one of you has decided you're going to be the helmsman, we feel it's important that both of you learn the other's job so you have a better appreciation for what each other is doing. And we just have to mention the guy here, Stan. Every time he got behind the wheel, something weird happened. This was a huge dredge with
about a quarter mile of dredge pipe and multiple workboats helping steer it down the ICW. And he had to get around it.
He's like, what am I supposed to do with that? So that was kind of fun. So cross training's important.
Again, going in and out of marinas, how to hook your utilities up to marinas when you're there, pump out fuel, all that goes with that. Try and teach you about your dinghy, make sure you're comfortable operating it and deploying it and retrieving it.
And you're going to make sure you have a good motor that's reliable. This was a client boat that they just purchased, and obviously their motor wasn't working as Scott rode me around.
Communication, VHF, marine radio will do some practicing, describe how to talk to other boats, locks, bridges, and what to do in an emergency, how to use your radio.
It's very easy to get tongue-tied when you pick up that the mic, so it's great to practice. And then there's deck seamanship. We'll teach you the knots that you need to know. It's not a lot of knots.
It's not?
It's not. Just things about securing the vessel, especially with tidal movements or considerations, and just deck management. We go over, there's a lot more to the deck seamanship than I think most realize.
And weather. That's the most important thing, is you're planning your day. And sometimes, even though you check the weather, it doesn't go as planned. As you see here, we got socked in by a little bit of fog while we were traveling. But that is one of the more important things about your planning as you're going to travel each day. And here are some of the others. Your destination, where are you going to go? And how long is it going to take to get there? Do you have enough fuel? What's going to slow you down as far as bridges and locks and those types of things? And we recommend you always have a plan B, C, and maybe even D in case things don't go as planned.
Well, as far as anchoring goes, we like to take you out and anchor your boat, but we first review your ground tackle, make sure that it's adequate and safe, and can give you suggestions if it's not. But then also, how do you find an anchorage, and just the technique of deploying and retrieving your anchor. Also, we talk about mooring balls, because mooring balls, you're basically just anchoring on someone else's anchor, so it's very similar. And there's a ton of other things that we go over. I mean, we'll just flip through these. There's locks and bridges, rivers. I mean, there's huge barges out there and big water crossing.
And then one of the things that we offer too is going through your boat and helping you outfit it, looking for things that you might need, and hopefully stuff that you don't need.
Equally as important to clear the junk off that you don't need. And we'll help you to identify those. A lot of the boats we get on often are day cruiser boats, and don't have adequate equipment on them for doing the loop. We'll help you identify that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cruising on your boat.
And the other thing we offer is cruising on our boat, our Taste of the Loop cruises, which are start out at 4 days. We do as many as 7, or we have done. We'd probably do more. You come aboard our boat, and this is one of the things we offer is there is a lock nearby that we can take you through and dispel any worries about locking through. We just take you out for a cruise right away. First day that you're on board, we'll let you drive the boat. We do let you drive. We don't practice docking with our boat. Try to spend a couple of nights at marinas, a couple of nights at anchor. We do find that a lot of people don't think that they're going to be enjoy anchoring, but once we get them out for a couple of days, most of them find they really enjoy it.
They do. They feel like there's this big, scary part of anchoring, and when we dispel a lot of the myths that are out there and teach good techniques, almost everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's so peaceful and quiet. They've really enjoyed it. But along that, so, staying on the boat or staying in a marina, what's the point of all that? Well, it's to go see what there is to see along the way and help you to identify some of those places, and just any number of things, especially the sea life. It's amazing.
All part of cruising the loop right here.
Yeah, and just enjoying the great outdoors. And of course, sunsets and ducktails.
Well, it's not all cool drinks and sunshine. Mostly it is. You can be as involved in the operation of the boat, learning. We can train you as much as you want throughout the days while you're cruising with us.
And we'll show you a little bit of what your suite looks like. So this is the guest berth. It's a full queen size bed. The picture's a little looks narrower than that, but it is a full queen size bed. And this area has also your own head, and it's kind of ensuite with the head and shower and everything for your own
privacy. We call it our 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah, we have a nice spacious salon with a dinette in it. Very comfortable for 4 people. And by the way, we only take 2 people at a time, so we never take more than that. So it's just 4 people on board. And flybridge.
Yeah, we put new electronics on it when we purchased the boat 2 years ago.
And it's got a nice seating up there. We spend a lot of time up there. So you get to learn a lot up on the helm when we're underway. And you can lounge on the bow if you'd like. Also, this is a great place to do stargazing when we're at anchor.
So the third thing we do offer are deliveries, and that's getting your boat from point A to point B. You can be on the boat and train as we move, or if you just need us to move the boat, we can do that as well.
So that's a little bit about us, what we do, and at this time we're going to open up for any questions and fire away.
All right, we're here live with Scott and Karen for your questions now. So I want to start off, if you can talk a little bit about your availability, because I know you have been very busy with these offerings. So I know some folks are going to have some questions about that. And for those of you who do have questions, if you can type those in the Q&A as always, or if you want to raise your hand with the button in your Zoom panel, I can unmute your mic and you can talk to Scott and Karen directly. So, but let's start off talking a little bit about your availability.
Well, the Taste of the Loop cruises have become wildly popular. And so right now we have a couple openings in December. Otherwise, we are actually booking into March after that. So we only do half of the time with cruises because we want to be available for those people if they want training when they buy a boat. So we do part of our time in training and part of our time in cruises.
So right now you have very limited availability open for Taste of the Loop cruises until March, correct?
Right. Just
but there's some spaces saved in between there for people who may need training.
Correct. Exactly.
I think our next training is September availability.
Okay. Question in the Q&A for you from David. Is your boat single or twin engines? And do you have any experience with cats? I'm thinking they mean the boat cats, catamarans, not cats aboard, but I could be wrong.
Sure.
You never know.
Tell us about your boat's engines first, and then anything you know about catamarans.
Sure. Twin engine, bow and stern thruster. We have trained on catamarans, operate a lot like just a twin engine, very maneuverable.
And our first boat was a Mainship 390, and that was a single. So that was the boat we did the first loop on. And so we've got a lot of experience with both the single and twin. And of course, Coast Guard training helps with all of it.
Okay, and Joe is mentioning he saw that you had round fenders on your boat. Do you recommend those, and what size?
A lot of it depends on the boat. We do recommend the ball fenders, especially for locking. And depends on your boat and the shape of your boat, how large those ball fenders should be. But their diameter is much bigger than the traditional cylinder fenders, so it allows you to protect your boat where it kind of falls away from the rub rail.
Also, in case you run across a lock with the riprap, that bigger ball will span that riprap as well and protect the boat. Okay.
Darcy would like to know, since you have had boats and done extensive cruising in boats with both single and double engines, which do you prefer, and what are the pros and cons of each?
Oh, one of the cons to having a twin engine is they're harder to get around in your engine room. They take up a lot of space. Much more maneuverable with a twin engine. I wouldn't hesitate to do the loop in a single engine with a bow thruster. Yeah, personal choices.
Yeah, about like what we have, you're not going to find in a single engine though. They're gonna almost always be the one that we have now. We have a Meridian 408, if you're wondering what it is. You're not going to find that in a single engine. So it depends upon the type of boat and the features that you want. And sometimes those features will outweigh what single versus twins. And that's one of the things we do go on the Taste of the Loop. We kind of go through, after you've been aboard for several days, we'll put things to consider when looking at a boat. And then it's really a personal preference. Now that you've been aboard and have experienced these different things, what's most important to you?
So from your experiences with your main ship versus your Meridian, single screw versus double, there's the perception that it's much more expensive to operate the twin engines. Do you find that to be the case, or are the boats so different that it's really not an apples to apples comparison anyway?
Well, I do tend to compare them. Oil changes are single engine. They wanted me to change the oil every 125 hours. On these engines, it's 250 hours. So that becomes kind of a wash. We can get just about the same fuel mileage if I can keep my hands out of the throttles.
That's hard.
At trawler speed. So it isn't as big a deal as people perceive it to be.
And we have flow meters, so we know how much fuel we're burning with this boat. So we can, and you just go up just a couple of hundred RPM, and that ratio kind of explodes.
Right. So talking about the training that you provide, David would like to know what documentation is provided once they're finished training with you that might help them with insurance, because we all know the insurance market has become kind of crazy, and they for a long time have occasionally requested documentation of training with a captain such as yourselves, but that's kind of become even more important. So what will they leave you with that they can bring to their insurance company?
Well, for both the cruises and training, we give you a certificate or just a letter afterwards, kind of explaining what types of things we've done with you and what waterways we've been on in the number of hours. And then it's signed by both of us. So it shows that we're U.S. Coast Guard captains. So our captains. Anyways, so yeah, we always give some sort of a certificate or a letter for both. Okay.
The next question, I think, may just need a little bit of clarification on the service that you're actually offering, because the question is, can you elaborate more on the Coast Guard training? How do you sign up and what do they cover? So I'm not sure if that's asking about actual training from the Coast Guard. I know you were talking about Scott's experience in the Coast Guard and that he received a lot of training that way. So I'm not sure if this question is asking about your training or some of the training that the Coast Guard offers. So if you two want to take a stab at that, or Mark, if you want to, add more to the chat with that or to the Q&A to further give us some details on what you're looking for, we can probably answer that a little bit better. But what Scott and Karen are doing is not Coast Guard training, correct?
No, correct. And it's not even the classes that the Coast Guard Auxiliary provides. It's not any of those either.
All right, this is very personalized, specific to you and your boat and what you need specific to the loop. Edward would like to know, how far in advance of doing the loop would a wise captain engage your services?
The Taste of Loop anytime while you're planning, because we do cover things that help you decide how to, what boat to buy, to sort out your preferences, that sort of thing. And then the training on your boat as soon as you get it, get the boat.
Actually, as soon as you put an offer on the boat, we suggest you call us right away, and we'll save us a time slot, because we've been booking so heavily. We'll save a time slot, but we don't do anything until they've accepted the boat. So we don't jump the gun on that.
Okay. We have one attendee, Angela, joined us a little bit late and is looking for your contact information, which I think was in the video, but why don't you, if you would, go ahead and tell us the best way for folks to get a hold of you.
All right. We have a website. It's www.capablecruising.com, and or our phone number is 616-460-9982 is probably the best number to call. And we also have a Facebook site, so you can find us there. But our website also gives a lot of information about the services as well.
Okay, we just got a
link to.
Go ahead, Scott.
I was just gonna say there's a link. There's an email you can
Contact
us right through the website.
Okay. Bill would like to know, maybe it's as a coastie, Scott, this will speak to you, but how would the Coast Guard's motto, Semper Paratus, hope I'm saying that right, Semper Paratus, apply to recreational boaters?
They do well to take on that motto, to always be prepared. You bet. Do everything you can to prepare. And you know, there's a huge learning curve if you haven't been in boating. Lots to learn, but very, very learnable as well.
Excellent. Good advice. And thank you for translating that, because that was a motto I had not heard before. But yes, of course, be prepared, especially for a cruise as long as the Great Loop. So I'm not seeing any more questions for you at this point, Scott and Karen. So we'll end it there and shift gears and go over to Curtis Stokes and Associates. But Scott and Karen Devoll, Capable Cruising, Gold Loopers, who have been great supporters of AGLCA for many years now. So we thank you for your sponsorship, and thanks for the information you provided today.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
It was our pleasure. Thanks for having us, Kim.
Thanks for being here.